Welcome to Intractable Daily. I have a topic that I believe is probably rarely discussed, if at all. And guys, I hope you're all doing well, by the way. And if you're watching this, maybe you probably aren't. Let's go over my day just for a second. I woke up with this is like day 4 of this round. I get a lot of kidney stones. I always have them. I believe it's connected to a gallbladder disorder that I have that's as painful as a gallstone. As painful as a gallstone. I have several types of, I just call it intractable abdominal pain. So I woke up and I have a fairly good sleeping medication. It's like an anticholinergic, so it actually keeps me asleep pretty well. And I also use CBD before I go to sleep. But as soon as I got up out of my bed, I'm like, oh wow, like my kidneys are aching, like they're really aching, and you can just feel it right through your back. And I had to go and I take my regular pain medications because I have multiple intractable pain disorders, not just my abdomen. But I'll get to the topic in question in a second, which is abdominal pain and empathy. When you have abdominal pain, and listen, I'm speaking about just one type of abdominal pain. Never mind having 2 or 3 or even 4 like I have, or even more serious pain disorders in your abdomen. Let's just talk about just having one. Let's talk about someone having pancreatitis. Let's talk about someone having an active ulcer. Let's talk about someone who has the pain of a gallstone. That does a lot to a person. That does a lot. And there are my rabbit is lying out like a mat. I've suffered for 17 years with acute chronic abdominal pain. Acute. There's probably been there's a few years where it wasn't acute, but it was always severe. Like from the moment it began, it just never stopped. So I'm used to very severe abdominal pain. My pain is classified as acute. So a kidney stone is, gallbladder is. My other disorders are just brutal in themselves. A lot of different psychological effects can occur. And I mean, I'll try to go over the list, but it's very hard. You see me always moving. That's because of also a spinal disease I have of inflammation in my spine. But it's my abdomen as well. I actually call that a disorder that isn't properly defined of, a constant need to move. And if you have abdominal pain, you know exactly what that's like, right? It's brutal when you just have to listen. You can't ever really lie down. You can't really find any comfortable positions. It's no way to live. And other people who know nothing about abdominal pain, so if they were to get just one kidney stone, or spend half a day with that, they would understand. So despite what people say, I have autism, okay? So I'm a good candidate to talk about empathy, because sometimes it seems like people with autism have a lack of empathy, but it's not like that. It's not like they mean to do it. And I'm sure that does happen sometimes with me, but I'm just the opposite. I have a lot of empathy. I love helping people. Oh, you see what I'm doing here, right? When I first got my abdominal pain, and I'm not going to tell you exactly what that was, because it was There was a serious thing that happened to me. That's, I don't know, like, I just don't feel like talking about it. It was a very serious injury to my abdomen. For the next couple or few years, living at home, living with people, excuse me, and I burp a lot because of these abdominal disorders, I can tell you something. By moving in on my own somewhere here, it becomes tough to even articulate, right? I'm sitting down, I'm waiting for my meds to kick in, my colic meds to kick in. It's very tough when you have severe, okay, I believe there is a difference of having just regular pain, okay? Like, you know, like say on your shoulder, just you full body intractable pain like I have. I find there's a difference if you have abdominal pain and trying to live with people, because it can be hell for both of you. You can't concentrate, you can't stand other people's noise because your abdomen hurts so much. And you know, what are the social interactions like? You know, it depends also on what type of people you're living with, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, your grandmother, no, just kidding. You know, the whole bit, right? And if you live with a lot of people, like, it's not like people who have intractable abdominal pain. Hey, listen, guys, this isn't just intractable abdominal pain. This is what happens regularly when people get abdominal pain. They become very moody. I've had to learn not to try to be that way because I have no other choice, because I don't have many days where, you know, my abdominal pain is below an 8. An 8. I specifically remember for the first number of years I had this severe injury, and I had very severe adhesions. So I have keloid scarring all the way from my sternum to my pelvis. So just in like hundreds of areas, like little bands of adhesions, or like little balls. My abdomen, my bowels were just like, I was developing a serious disorder, a colic disorder. I didn't know what it was for a number of years. And I'd have to go and get, you know, I'd have to do enemas and all that type of stuff, because the person has to go to the bathroom, right? This is when my mom was still alive, and you know, this would be, let's just say, like 2010 to 2012 or something like that. And I would get them done, okay? And when I'd be done, I'd feel like hell. I wouldn't feel good, and it usually, not usually, but it could easily spark up an irritable response in me, but not purposely, you know? Of all the pains, I think that causes the most agitation, irritability, restlessness, and colic and all those types of things can make you seem like somebody who you're not. I have a disorder called the splenic flexure syndrome. It's one of the worst things to have. So it's like your colon is moving up into your splenic flexure, and it doesn't turn, where it's supposed to kind of go up a bit and then turn down the descending colon. But it's like it goes way up. It does a sharp turn at the flexure. Anyways, when it starts pushing into my ribs and my back in that flexure, you turn into a restless person. You know, like say you're on the phone when it's happening. You don't seem like the same person. You may have altered responses. This is a very difficult life, a very difficult thing to go through. You know, this could, and it's all dependent upon things you already suffer with. So if you already have anxiety, if you already have panic attacks, if you already, you know, it can just get out of control. I say in some of my videos and some of the things I write that when I got the splenic flexure syndrome, my personality changed. I appear like a more intense or restless person, but really it's not me. Those things. And how do I know? Because I can be totally like intense feeling, and just literally like 20 minutes after that colic has gone down and I'm calm. I've rarely have instances where I can just sit here and just, that's another thing. You can't think clearly. So when you have all of these things circling around, and you could be hit by all of them at once, things episodically, one comes in, another symptom comes in, they absolutely affect the way that your empathy is with people. You might come off as an asshole, you might come off as someone who you're not. And the reality is I've been in quite a few arguments in close quarters, but of course after that I feel bad, right? And if it is my fault, then I'll go back and apologize. I don't want to bring I really don't want to bring my Christian belief into this video, but I do believe in God. I want to tell you this. The reason why I'm still able to do these things and why I push forward is because I found hope in the Bible. It's my hope that everyone would do something like that. But listen, if you're that uncomfortable and you're really looking for hope, that's one way. That's all I'll say. I don't hear these things expressed in videos. By the way, guys, please, if you like my video, please subscribe. I try to make, the best videos I can. In-depth topics. Here's the other aspect. I have autism, okay? And a lot of people today have mental health issues. Autism isn't a mental health issue. It's a neurodevelopmental. It doesn't mean that there's something mentally wrong. That's not what it means. Because if you put all people with autism, level 1 autism in a room, they would all get together and understand each other most likely. So I'm just trying to differentiate. But there's still issues. There's a lot of associated mental health disorders with it. Listen, we live in a time where there's a lot of mental illness, and sorry, I'm looking for something here. And I don't see this aspect being talked about with pain. So it relates to every single pain. It just doesn't have to be abdominal pain, but let's focus on that. Excuse me. I'm eating as I do this. I only have, I probably eat about half the time that I'm up, because I have to eat slowly, and I can only eat about 15% of foods on this earth because my abdominal disorders, especially one of them, the splenic flexure syndrome, cuts off so many possibilities of foods and make me very sick. And there's only one medication that really helps my colic, which is buscap. Now, this is very specific, but it's true. You're probably not going to find it in literature because people aren't really talking about it. I have bipolar disorder, and it's most likely associated with autism. I have forceful, very quick thoughts, but it can also create a lot of, I can make things, it's yin-yang situation. When I get a kid, so this is associated with what I'm talking about in the empathy. So he's still lying out flat. When I get a kidney stone, and when I got my gallbladder disorder from, right? Shoulder, you know what I'm talking about. 2020, you know what I'm talking about. It was caused by that. It changes you for the period of time that you're being attacked. So I'll give you an instance. So on a regular day, I'm able to control these thoughts. They alter all day. They're very forceful, very quick. I hear a lot of music in my head, repeating. and it goes like along with things that I do. If I have a kidney stone, you know what? I don't feel the abdominal pain first. When you get a kidney stone, well, in my case, I've had probably 50 of them. By the way, I combat those with oranges. Eat a lot of oranges. It really does help. I'm dealing with kidney colic right now. The first thing I noticed, a lot of people when they get a kidney stone, they're just like, something is wrong. They don't know what. And then maybe within a few hours, maybe it could be a day. There have been days where I've been figuring out what's wrong with me. Like, is it my mind? And I figure out it's just a building kidney stone. Like, it's starting to come out in the kidneys, or it's just starting to move. But when it does, my thoughts from bipolar go absolutely nuts. I've read nothing about it, so I've written Reddit articles about this to show other people what I'm going through. That is the thing. So there it is. Like, it controls your mental health, and those things absolutely affect the way you deal with people and empathy. When it goes up, you may become more irritable, agitated. You don't want to be around anybody. Like, who would blame you anyways, right? You need your space. You need to go for, I recommend going for good long walks. That really helps. Drink a lot of water, all that type of stuff. But yes, this is what I was going to say. The way in which you're going to react, empathy-wise, depends on what you already suffer with. Are you a naturally relaxed person? You might, how strong is your personality? If you can't tolerate much, you're going to be in quite a lot of trouble. Do you have schizophrenia? Do you have PTSD? These are the things that are going to affect that empathy. And those things in themselves do have empathy problems themselves, but I'm not sure I have much more to say on this. Guys, I have pain in every sector of my body. I know what the worst pains on earth are. I have adhesive arachnoiditis in my legs and lower back. That's the worst pain disorder there is, right? I also have full body intractable pain like CRPS. It's the same symptoms, same severity. I have trigeminal neuralgia and occipital neuralgia from severe nerve injury. And in the abdomen, so here's what I'm saying. Each area of the body has something very, like, you can say abdominal pain is the worst. No, shoulder nerve pain is the worst. But the reality is they all have their something you wouldn't want to tolerate. Like, you wouldn't want to tolerate even 1 hour of trigeminal neuralgia and a full attack where it's attacking your teeth, and even where there's no teeth. But anyways, take a look at this. Like, there is no place in the human body like the abdomen. When you have an abdominal problem, it's the hardest to diagnose of all disorders. And you can see why, right? When you have a problem, something down here could be causing what's happening up here. That's how intricate it is. It doesn't mean you're just going to get pain here, and that's what it means. Like, it's one of these three. But in a lot of cases, of course, it is. So take a look, and I'll tell you if I've had it. Gallstones. So I have a disorder that's like that. It's like that. I can't even touch my gallbladder. Stomach ulcers. I just had 4 of them. Well, let's just call it 2 years ago. I healed them. Pancreatitis. Kidney stones, yes. Urine infection, no. But let's just walk through them. I'm going to say constipation, lumbar hernia, stomach ulcers. I think they're putting that there and there. I don't know. It's because they're showing by region where it can. I don't know if it's the distribution. I don't know why they're putting it all across. Heartburn, indigestion, pancreatitis, gallstones, epigastric hernia, biliary colic. Boy, that sucks. Duodenal ulcer, kidney stones, urine infection. Pancreatitis, early appendicitis, stomach ulcer, inflammatory bowel disease, or inflammatory bowel, small bowel. I don't know if this is together. Umbilical hernia, diverticulitis or disease, inflammatory bowel diseases. You know them. They're like Crohn's and colitis, and I believe they should add the splenic flexure syndrome, but so, it's really unfortunate when, it's bad enough when, I just saw like a blinking light in the back. It's bad enough when you get one problem with your stomach, right? Before you even get something serious like an intractable abdominal pain disorder, everyone knows what it's like to have a hurting stomach. Well, just try to imagine that and then multiply that by 5 times and having that all the time. It's really unfortunate. What they should have had here, I guess they're looking at kind of diseases, but that's why they didn't put some stuff up. I would say adhesions are quite painful. Both the people who suffer with this, and I don't think there's probably, I would put it in the high 80 percentile, if not higher, people who have chronic severe abdominal pain. Probably all have arguments, irritability to others when they're not really that type of personality. I just think it's good to be mindful, the people who are in their family, to be mindful of this. Give room, be careful, don't tiptoe right around them, but because it's not special treatment, but it's to be mindful, right? It's to be good to each other, and to people who are like myself. For myself, it's being alone. I wouldn't want to subject myself to, there are certainly periods that I can tolerate, and you have to be, I'm not kidding you got to be a pro sometimes. You have to be a pro at, like if you're stuck on the spot and I don't know, you lose your train of thought a lot, and it's really unfortunate, if you're an intelligent person, if you're a creative person, if you love to do this, if you love to do that, those things can be diminished because of, like you can't think, and that type of thing can absolutely, hey buddy, I built them a track around here. It can really affect you. Anyways, God bless all of you. This one really hits close to my heart. And yeah, so my mother used to say this. I did finish this off. I used to get like a colonic, or I'd get an enema. And one of my specific bowel disorders, the splenic flexure syndrome, it doesn't react well to that. So it's like burning inside. And I would get in some arguments with people, and my mom would always say to my dad, "Hun, it's his bowel." I just remember my mother saying that because she knew quite well. It's unfortunate, but you got to find a way to deal with it. Correct medication, going for walks, exercise. What else can you do? Stay healthy, stay awake, drink, eat healthy. eat things that help the pain for your stomach. Eat lots of greens. Anyways, guys, he's trying to escape. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, see if I can get past 10 subscribers. And thanks, guys. God bless.